Hello, 422-585. This is Dr. Allen here. I'm doing this video mostly because, or only because, we're not meeting this week, and I wanted to do just a short, just wrap up, kind of keep us on the same page type video. So before I do anything, sorry, a little itch there. I'm going to share my screen and bring up some things. I sent this out, but I'm going to run through it really quickly. I won't read it word for word, but just to kind of remind everyone of a few things. One, I'm catch myself umming. Don't forget, of course, we're online this week, so you don't have to come in. No big deal there. Also, the only thing that's really due, there is a blog. I'll go over and I'm going to show you that here in a few minutes. But there is a blog that'll be due. Make sure you get caught up on any discussions. I'm making my goal over fall break to kind of get caught up on some of those. So make sure you take the time to get those caught up. But again, this is really just, I want you to be able to get situated. I know a lot of people out for 370. Actually, I have 370. But 443 also. I know James is in 443. And of course, if you're in graduate studies, you need to go and get your hours also for this class for 585. So with all that being said, just blog, get some hours in for your other classes. Also, just a reminder, don't, get your practice 2 done. I know some people have already done that. That's a big priority. I just think it'll make your life a lot easier, especially for those of you going into 443. That class takes up a lot of time. And if you can have practice 2 done before you hit 443, big plus. When we come back on the 25th, I promise we'll talk about micro teaching that and probably do the sign up. I have that due the next 2 classes. Don't overthink it. Let me just go ahead and tell you what it is. It is literally a 10 to 15 minute lesson that you're just going to teach the class. It can be something that you're doing in the field right now. So maybe you're going to do your bell ringer and maybe just kind of go into details. Maybe it's just a little snippet of something that you're teaching in the class. It's just to kind of get you, some people like to do maybe even a little bit of practice runs before they teach it out in the field. That's fine. It is just to kind of get you used to going up in front of classes and organizing content. There is, and I'll show you this next week, there's a little bit of a feedback form that I want you to do, just basically what standards you're doing, what procedures you're doing, and such. Sorry, there's a truck going up the road, just distracting me. Also, like I say, 10, 15 minutes, that's it. Nothing more, nothing less. You can be creative if you want to do stations, that's fine. If you want to do Nearpod, that's fine. Again, I'm not going to tell you what you need to do, just some content and deliver it to us. We'll do the signups next week, and then those will probably be, I'm sorry, I'm looking at my calendar. That will be the 1st and the 8th. I believe we're going to do the presentations for the micro teaching. So we'll just divide it, probably 3 and 4 in a class. Unit plans, those are coming up. I'll double check the due date on this video. But one thing about well, actually, we'll look on here. I'm sure I have it on there already. Let's just go ahead and look. Unit plans, November 29th, that is after, of course, Thanksgiving break. But the one thing I wanted to kind of point out with that, we had talked the one night about maybe doing a group one. I'm actually going to see, I love that idea actually, and that's the one where if we do it together, if you do 3 on a certain topic, we're going to merge them together eventually. And I wouldn't mind maybe seeing if we can maybe present them at Phi Alpha Theta or something. Again, that's pie in the sky. I'm not saying that you have to do that. But I kind of like the idea of having a theme with all of us doing it. So with that being said, a few of you have already signed up for what you would like to do. If you're interested in doing that, just put it on there. So I just have an idea of the content that's going to be coming with the American Revolution. And the other thing related to that, so I don't forget, I sprung this on you a little late. So if you've already started working on your unit plans and you don't want to do that topic, you are not going to be penalized. But I think it's kind of fun if we all do one big one and then we can share it at the end with the whole class. And, we have some ideas and such that everyone wants to do, or you can pull from. We'll go through it though, and I'll definitely look at them and such. We'll kind of beef them up if we need to. So with that being said, again, American Revolution, I'm going to pull the link up. It is on there just to kind of show you what, I don't think names are on here. I don't even know why they put that there. But slowly. Sorry, I'm trying to do this in one take, so if it's a little rough around the edges, forgive me. If you had me for 380, you're probably used to that. There you go if you're interested. And there's that. And let me move this little thing. Where is my results? That's the actual form, sorry. I'm really struggling today. It's Monday. Why don't I do this the smart way? Yay, it's not going to make me sign in. Then once you have to wait any longer. Let's go this way. I believe we had Native Americans was one. That's all. I like that topic, by the way, with the American Revolution. And sorry, it's slow. Slow. Here we go. Yeah, we've had 2 responses. Native American articles, Confederation versus Constitution. Again, I think this would be pretty cool if everyone would do one. Again, I'm not going to make you though if you don't want to. But something I'm kind of thinking this would be between, I guess, the French and Indian War, 7 Years' War, up through the War of 1812. So again, if you can do a unit on this, might be nice. And if it helps, I think 3 to 4 instead of 4 to 5 is fine with this part if you're going to do the American Revolution, because we're going to have a lot of content in it. And if you have any questions, feel free to contact me on that. And next, whoops, let me go back. And go back. And of course, last but not least, let's go back over here. This is probably making for great viewing, I'm sure, but that's all right. It's all right on my end. All right, let's go back to our class here. There we go. Mention unit plans. Oh, and Phi Alpha Theta. I think I put that on there, but again, I would really recommend maybe making sure you contact Dr. Bankers. I think everyone in here would like Phi Alpha Theta, and there's different levels. It's one of those organizations where you can be as part of it or involved as much as you want to, but they're always looking for members, and I think a lot of you would be really good for that. So that's the big thing, and of course, that's what I sent out that there. For this week, just to kind of cover it, I'm going to go ahead and open this after I post this video up. And don't forget, some people email me. Last week's stuff is still open. That's the 11th. That had a lot of the blogs, material, and such. Is it still? Yeah, I think I have that open to the 25th if you want to check it out. All the notes, all the readings, the handouts that I gave are also posted here if you want to look at them. The John Brown stuff we talked about and the DBQ examples. So your document-based questions. You all kind of basically did that with your the LENS activity, which were awesome, by the way. For the coming week, whoops, wrong week. Here's what we got. I went ahead and put the notes from last week here too, in case you're doing it. On the syllabus, it just says to talk about United States civics notes. That's what I talked about when we were into it. So I'll pull it up just in case you want to see. We did that. I wanted to go ahead and do that so you didn't have to listen to me read it on a tape or YouTube. Dating myself there. The blog this week, hopefully, is a little bit of a fun one. I want you to think about a podcast. Podcasts are everywhere now. And when you're teaching, it's hard to stay current sometimes in the field. And what I mean by that is once you start teaching a content, especially if you're teaching that content all the time, you will know your content. I have no doubts about that. But just staying current and maybe other aspects of social studies, I'm finding podcasts seem to be something that a lot of people are starting to do more and more. Obviously, I listen to podcasts probably more than I watch TV at this point in my life. I put a few samples up if you want to check out some podcasts. I'd like you to maybe check one out and just kind of review it. Do you think would it help you prep for a class in any way? Or if you already have a go-to podcast, feel free to kind of talk about it and just give it a quick review on the blog. That's your only assignment. My personal favorites, they are a lot of British ones. I think they do a lot of historical type things, so I gravitate to it. My absolute favorite is The Rest is History. I actually put a link to it here if you're into that. They do a wide raising, it's a little more laid back in the way they banter, and the newer ones are even set up a little differently than the older ones, but they do topics like the 90s, but then they'll also do things like the Roman Empire or more specific things like Justinian and Theodora was one I listened to not too long ago. I think I just got one today that was actually on. Actually, let me look at my phone. I can tell you. I'm ashamed that I don't. Oh, Trafalgar, like Napoleonic, but I know that's what it is. But just to kind of show you. Yep, there. I don't know if you can see it or not. But Trafalgar. That's one that I like. In Our Time, it's a little more nuts and bolts, very academic, and then BBC History. Each has their own website. You're welcome to kind of Google them and check them out. They're all on iTunes or whatever your preferred podcast site is. I know In Our Time has an awesome online spot that you can just download them. And here's some listings of other history ones. There's one called Dan Carlin's Hardcore History. They're very long, but a lot of people really like them. I think they're one of the more popular ones. I'd just like you to maybe check one out, or if you're familiar with it, and review it. Also, one other thing, I've put a couple of readings up, and one of them isn't showing. I'll make sure that the link is back up. One is on the government-related questions. They're actually in this notes. Remember, we kind of talked about them, but there's an article on some good government questions and what you should really be teaching. And also, this again is another one of those online resource readings. I have one on women's suffrage. I thought this was a nice U.S. history, U.S. government like merging. This is actually written during the pandemic. So if you want to check it out, it was on women's suffrage and kind of setting up a unit plan or an idea for a lesson. I just feel like the lesson things are more beneficial. You're welcome to print it out. You're welcome to check it out. Pull anything from it that you think might be good. Some of you might be teaching more modern U.S. history, especially if you're in 6th and or 10th, I believe. You'll probably be connected to some of that. So with that being said, I think that's this week. Check out the lessons, the readings, resources if you need them. It's number 8. We'll talk about micro teaching sign up when you come back. But again, just think about the lessons you want to do. Again, not supposed to be stressful. We'll organize the 2 times when we come back next week. I may even send out a Google form, or I'm sorry, a Microsoft form for you to pick a day ahead of time just to kind of save a little bit of time. Think about unit plans. And last but not least, since I have it on here, I also put the EdTPA handbook up. My face just froze again. I did this last time, I think. So hold on. Let me see if I can get that. Hopefully the volume's working. I've also put the EdTPA, I hope that, I don't know what's showing up on the other side when you're looking at this. My face literally just froze on my video. If it is showing and you can hear me, that's awesome. I'm just going to keep talking and minimize that so you can just see. This is the EdTPA handbook, and I would definitely check it out. We're going to talk a little bit about EdTPA when we come back in the coming weeks. But just as a kind of, just so you know, EdTPA is what you have to do in your capstone in your 461 class. I'll mention James. James is going to be actually doing this next semester. And when you take 443, you'll do a mini version of this. This is the setup. This is the EdTPA, I guess, Holy Trinity. It's planning, instruction, and it's assessing. And it talks a little bit about what you have to do. Some of the things that you have to do, you have to submit an EdTPA lesson plan. You have to write and document a lot of stuff. EdTPA requires a lot of writing. And also, you have to film yourself teaching one time. And when you film that, you do need to you submit it and it's scored by an outside agency. I'll talk a little more about EdTPA when we come back. But again, just to kind of let you know, it is here. And I believe I posted the EdTPA video up for everyone to check out. And earlier, I'll see if I still have that posted up somewhere, and I might resend it out. So with that being said, that is the handbook. Hopefully you're hearing this because, like I say, I think my video is still frozen. It is. So I'm going to leave it there. Hope everyone's had a great week. I'm going to go stop share. Look at that. That's hopefully not still recording. And oh, it is. I guess it is still recording. I don't know. It's all scary to me. I'm going to get off of here. Hope you're having a great week and see everyone on October 25th. And don't forget on November 1st, we will have a guest speaker from PBS coming in. So talk to you later.